And we're live, y'all, at K9 Boxing, and we have a special guest. We got the champ in the building. That's right,
Hey,
Steve Cunningham. What's happening, brother?
what's up, everybody?
Yeah, you say what
Doing
now?
good.
You good?
Say- Doing all
Yeah,
right, bro. Doing good.
man, that's good, man. That's good. What you doing these days, champ?
Man, just staying in shape myself, working out, working on a fight deal with bare knuckle,
Yeah.
trying to work that out, and because I haven't officially retired, I've just been out the ring a while. Been trying to get in, and and but boxing wise, it's been. I had a couple fights that fell through last year and the year before last, and then it's just like, hey, I'm not getting any younger, but I'm still in shape. I'm still doing good. And we got an opportunity, with bare knuckle, and they're taking off, and they're talking the right everything. So, shoot, I'm ready to rock. Outside of that, we're running our gym, USS Fight Academy here outside of Pittsburgh. I have amateur fighters. I have nationally ranked fighters that are a few of them are nationally ranked number one in the nation, and my son Steve Jr. He's number four. We got other fight. I have about 12 amateurs that I train, and me and two other coaches we train. So, we're working, man. We're working, getting the gym, building the gym up. We have the best kids youth boxing class in town in the area. Before COVID, we had almost up to 40 kids, and now COVID, the numbers are down, but we're working on building it back up.
Yes, yes. That's good, man. I be seeing you at the tournaments all the time with all your kids, man. So I definitely
Yeah.
salute you for that, man. Cause a lot of
Thanks.
fighters are not giving back in that way, and so I
Yeah.
appreciate you, and I love seeing you there with them kids, man.
Same.
Champions giving back to future champions.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. My goal with that is my goal is to one day, because we're in the building we're in right now, we're able to host fights. We were going to do our first show in 2020, but everybody see how 2020 went. So um, we're going to start doing shows, but my ultimate goal is to do like champions versus champions gym. Like you have USS Fight Academy. Let's say you have a gym, K9 boxing gym. We get together, we do like a nice little show. We can do K9 versus uh mighty Ivan Robinson, because I know he has a little gym in Philly.
Hmm.
Buster Douglas has a gym. USS Fight Academy versus Buster Douglas.
Hmm.
Our amateurs. That's a money maker right there. That's an attention grabber, and that's great for the above all is great for the amateurs, because they'll have a lot to look forward to. Get to put on a nice show. I don't know if Sweepy Whitaker's gym is still rolling, but still stuff like that. I know Danny Garcia has a gym. I'm in contact with a few fighters, who have run gyms, and it's like, hey, let's, you get a team together, I'll get a team together, and we'll make it happen. And man, that'd be dope.
Yes, yes. I was talking to somebody today earlier about something similar to some what you just got through talking about. Champions versus champions. I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
that.
that'd be fire, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm down. Let me know though. Let me know.
Yeah, oh yeah, no doubt. We can.
Look.
It's going. We're still getting everything together with our like nonprofit and
Mhm.
this getting the gym right now with COVID is like we got to keep that rent paid.
Yes.
So we're building up, and but it's going, man. It's going.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, salute to TJ Sports. He said salute. Yeah. So let me get to the nitty gritty. Now, people know Steve Cunningham for knocking down Tyson Fury. And now, I
Yeah.
mean, when you knock down this giant, kind of like David did Goliath. How did you feel when you knocked down Tyson Fury? Did you feel like you had
Man,
him?
I was surprised actually, because the we trained to do that. I was surprised. I wasn't surprised that it happened. I just was surprised it happened. Because in training camp, Nazim was like, the first thing he said when camp started is like, "Yo, you're gonna sit him on his pockets with this punch," and I'm like, "What?" All right, and we just drilled that overhand right, man. Every training camp, every day, boom. boom, and then for about 8 weeks, 6 weeks, and when the fight went down, and he threw that lazy jab, and the punch came out, I didn't even think about it. It just happened, bow, and I was like, oh wow, like I was surprised, like man, that's what's up, and we went on to hurt him a few more times, and basically force him to resort to out of boxing rules tactics in order to win. But you know, hats off to Fury, man. He's taken all that, and I mean, look what he did. He's the top heavyweight, probably one of the top fighters in the the most known, I'd say, outside of outside of who? Who's more known than Fury? I don't think. I don't know anybody. So hats
Joshua.
off to the guy. He's doing his thing.
Yeah, yeah. So, with you fighting that cruiserweight, how did you get the opportunity, or what made you decide to want to fight heavyweight?
Well, as a cruiserweight, I was fighting my last run as a cruiserweight, the two-time world champion. My second run with the belt, I was I was promoted in Germany, and because that's where all the cruiserweights were. That's where they were making money. There was no money for the cruiserweights to fight in America on TV. There's no TV
Yeah,
for the cruiserweights. So out there in Europe, in Germany, Poland, there was television, there was money, there was endorsement, there was all kind of good stuff. So I was like, hey, let me go over into the Lions then. That's where I won my titles at anyway,
yeah,
and continue my career, and that's what we did. So from there, I kind of got cheated out of my belt after a couple fights. After 3 fights, in my third fight, they got me for my belt, and I did a rematch, and I lost the rematch. It was a good fight, but I lost the rematch out of because I was very mad at the situation, and
yeah,
I was like, hey, I have no belt, and nobody wanted to fight me. I was good. Everybody knew I got robbed out of my belt.
yeah,
No other cruiserweights really wanted to fight me.
yeah,
I didn't want to stay with the German promoter because they didn't have my best interests at hand. So I was like, if I stay here, I get robbed more. I just continue to get robbed, and they'll just use me for my name. And I'm like, it wasn't worth it. So I decided I had to either retire back then in 2011 or reinvent myself. So my lawyer, John Horner, who was Vladimir Klitschko's lawyer, he got a call from Vladimir and was like, hey, Vladimir said he's fighting David Haye. He wants Steve, he wants you in the camp, help him get ready. So I was like, hey, I'll go. And I always went to camps with everybody. I didn't care. I went to camps with any and everybody. And to have this opportunity to go spar with Vladimir, the best heavyweight in the world right now, I jumped at it, and I did good. I felt so good in there. That's what made me go heavyweight. After that training camp, during the training camp, I called my lawyer and was like, "We going heavyweight. We going heavyweight. I'm doing good work with Vladimir.
yeah,
And it was I was doing so good. I ended up doing all the rounds with Vladimir at that David Haye camp. I was doing like 6-7 rounds straight with him, and the big heavyweight guys, he was sending a couple home, sitting them guys down. They couldn't handle it, but I was
yeah,
I was in there
yeah,
boxing beautifully, and Vladimir loved it. I
yeah,
was doing good. Shoot, I got the camp bonus, because I did the most rounds with Vladimir
yeah,
that camp,
yeah.
and man, that was beautiful. So after that, I came home. We going heavyweight.
Hey, so was Emmanuel Stewart there in that camp?
Say that again.
Was Emmanuel Stewart in that camp with
Yeah,
Klitschko?
Emmanuel Stewart was in. He was in the first two camps
Okay,
that I went, because I went to Vladimir's camp 3 times,
okay,
and he was in the first two. He was
yeah.
in the first two. Actually, no. When did Stewart die? When did he die? Emmanuel Stewart died.
Oh, man, that's a good question. That's a good
He
question.
was in the first camp. He was in the David Haye camp,
Okay,
and I remember because me and him had a nice conversation
yeah,
one day in the lobby of the
yeah,
hotel, and and he gave me my own crunk shirts with Cunningham on. And I still have a couple. I had two of them. He gave me three. I have two of them,
oh
and
wow, that's
he
respect.
yeah, no doubt, man. He just came with Cunningham, and I was like, yo, but he gave everybody those crunk shirts, but not everybody. But you had to do
Yeah,
something, and
right,
he gave me my crunk shirt, and I was like, yo, that's what's up, my crunk shirts and a
yeah,
bag,
yeah,
and
with your name on it. It's different than just
with
getting a
my
regular
name on it,
shirt.
right? So that was mad respect, and
Yeah,
you can't not love Emmanuel Stewart. So we talked for a while,
Yeah.
and he was like, man, you're gonna do good at heavyweight, man. I think he wanted to train me too, but I
Yeah.
was with brother Nazim, so that wasn't gonna
Okay.
happen. But that was
Yeah.
that was mad respect, from a legend,
For sure.
a
Yeah, for
legend.
sure.
But I think really. I think it might have been just that one camp, but I think Emmanuel Stewart probably passed away like 2014 or 12.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, probably like 2012 or 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he died before I fought Fury. I think
Okay.
he passed away
Okay.
before that. So that was
Okay.
2013. So then I went to camp with Vladimir once or two more times. I think it was three times. Yeah, the Povetkin fight. Yeah, it was just the David Haye and Povetkin fight. That's what it was. Two
Yeah.
times, and but it was great. It was a great experience, man. Seeing Emmanuel Stewart at work with
Hmm.
Vlad, and
Yeah.
Jonathan Banks was there.
Hmm.
Just dealing with all these guys, man. It was great.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right, Daniel. The first should be last, and the last should be first. Why you didn't
Yo,
pursue the rematch with Tyson Fury?
because they it wasn't even an open door for a rematch. It
Okay.
wasn't. That fight was to get to, I think it was the number 2 spot to fight Vladimir.
Okay.
And I wanted it bad. Of course, he wanted it bad.
Yeah.
I wanted to fight. I fought Fury. We kind of picked Fury because
Yeah.
Fury was looking for a fight. Nobody would fight him. I was coming off of the Atomic 2 rematch where they raped me. They clearly robbed me in that fight. I mean, it was unbelievable what they
Yeah.
did on NBC. The world saw it, so that kept me in the mix. Everybody was like, no, Cunningham really won that fight. He cleanly outboxed, outlanded, outsmarted Atomic this time. And it wasn't a war like our first fight. I turned into a clear, clean boxing match. And, they gave it to him somehow. And so I was like, man, I gotta fight. I gotta do something spectacular in order for them to, consider me a heavyweight, in order for me to stop getting cheated, in order for me to be considered a contender to fight for Vladimir's crown. And Fury was like, man, I want to fight. And I was like, hey, what's up? I'm ready. I'm looking for a fight too. We were on Twitter beefing, and the fight got made. And my thing in boxing is, in order to be considered great, you have to do great things. You have to do stuff that people say you're not going to do, or you can't do. And hey, this dude's 6'9". He's athletic. He's 200 and what was he? 269 pounds. I was 207, 206.
Yeah.
Yo, that's perfect. And I'm like,
Right.
man, I can beat this guy. I can beat
Yeah.
this guy. Like we can beat him. It's not easy, but it's nothing's easy until you make it easy.
Right. Yeah. You
Until
be
you get in there and do it. So
yeah.
right.
I was gonna say no. You'd be surprised. I actually sparred him when he first came to America. The first person he sparred with was me.
Oh wow, that's beautiful.
Ain't that's deep, ain't it? I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
I was scared to death. Boy, 6'9". He said, "She want to spar." I was like, "Yeah, right."
Right.
But I did it though. He told me, he basically let me know that he was just gonna work with me. We're gonna be. I'm trying to kill you, none of that. So right then and there, I knew. I say this guy is really a good fighter. Anytime you can go in there and not try to punish everybody you in there with, you get a chance to learn like that.
Yeah, and Fury, Fury talks all the stuff. I mean, he's selling himself, and he sold himself. He's a millionaire for it.
Yeah.
He's also a student of the game. He's a boxer. He's a 6'9" boxer. He's not just a tall guy.
Exactly.
He knows how to box, and people know that they've seen in my fight with him. He can turn into something else in order to win.
Yeah.
Be it borderline illegal, or just rough.
Yeah.
He does what he needs to do to win. Now him getting called on those rough things, that's the ref's job. That's the referee's job.
Yeah.
So
Now.
in that fight, after that fight, I was asked by many people, like, man, why you didn't do something?
Yeah.
Why you didn't do something illegal? He was doing all this legal rough stuff with the shoulder and legal.
Yeah.
I was like, because what I was doing, what I was trained to do, was working.
Yeah.
If you're doing stuff illegal, if you're doing this other stuff out of boxing, out of the rules stuff, in order to try to get me, in my mind, keep doing what you're doing. It's working.
Mm-hmm.
It's working. So why would I step of my zone? And really, look at the whole spectrum. Steve Cunningham they've been robbing me in boxing all over the world, throughout
Yeah.
my career as a world champion. And it's like, as soon as I do something illegal, I'm gonna get called for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As soon as I
Mm-hmm.
do something illegal, let me hit him in the balls by accident, or put a forearm in his throat. As soon as I
Yeah.
do it, I will get called for it or disqualified. So I listen. My thing was, I can beat you and dismantle you by staying within the rules of boxing. Wasn't even
Yeah.
on my plate to do anything illegal.
Yes. Yes. Someone says, Steve, bring back the pizza joint. What they talking about?
Oh man, when I after we fought Marco Huck, well, right before we fought Marco Huck, we opened a pizza spot in Philly, like kind of 2 blocks down from our house,
Mm.
which was a very bad idea. Because stores and shops, they don't get patronized. Black owned
Mm-hmm.
spots don't get patronized by blacks in the ghetto. That's just what it is, man. It's just the
Yeah.
way it's always been since I've been growing up. But I thought since I was a world champion, kids respected me, people respected me in the neighborhood, that we bought this pizza shop, that this Greek family, they were going back to Greece. They were older, and they were like, we're getting too old for this. We're going back to Greece. They sold it to us, and they said it makes X amount of dollars a week. We're like, great, because
Mm-hmm.
that's when I was with Don King, and I was fighting once a year.
Yeah.
And even as a world champ and as a cruiserweight world champ, it wasn't that much money. It wasn't
Mm.
400,000 a fight, six
Yeah.
hundred thousand a fight. It was a
Yeah.
100,000 a fight. 150,000,
Yeah.
maybe 200. And that was once a year. So
Yeah.
that was only a few times. So it's like, instead of buying a house to get out of the ghetto, we decided. My wife was like, "Hey, listen, let's get this pizza shop. It would generate weekly income, and
Mm-hmm.
we can build from there." And
Yeah.
I'm like, "Damn, babe, that's a great idea. You thinking like crazy." And
Yeah.
we got it. And once we got in there, we kept the same cook.
Mm-hmm.
The prices were already the lowest in the neighborhood. We had to take them up, like at least 30 cent. A cheesesteak, what was that? What the cheesesteak? Cheesesteak was like 225 when we got there. Everybody else's cheesesteak was like 375 and 425.
Wow.
We had no the 275. I'm sorry. We had to take our cheesesteaks up to like 350, and
Yeah.
they still were low. Still were the lowest cheesesteaks in the neighborhood, and
Yeah.
people
They were
didn't
spoiled.
patronize, man. People
Yeah.
didn't patronize. Kept the same cook. The menu
Yeah.
didn't change. Nothing changed. So
Yeah.
it was just us. The face changed, and pizza was the same. Cheese steaks. We did this. We tried to do that. I
Mm-hmm.
had a big plan to bring ex fighters out here on like a grand opening that next summer.
Yeah.
I had Corey. Me and Corey Spinks were tight. Chris Bird. I knew
Mm-hmm.
all. I knew all the champ. Don King
Yeah.
said he was going to come. We were going to have a block cut off,
Yeah.
but we never really made money to get to that summer
Yeah.
happily. And we ended up shutting it down, and then just leasing the building out. It was a
Yeah.
good idea, but it was a good idea in the wrong spot, wrong location.
Yeah.
Now, if we'd have did that kind of in the white neighborhood, or in just a neutral area, a busier area, like outside of the ghetto, outside of the hood,
Yeah.
it would have did good. But blacks don't patronize blacks, man. That's just
Yeah.
the way it is in the hood.
Sad. Yeah. I understand
So we
exactly what
lost
you're
a
talking
lot
about.
of money doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What made you decide to say, you know what, I'm gonna let my wife be my manager? What made you decide to have your wife as your
Hey,
manager, and did you like it and love it?
yeah, oh man, it was the best move. It was the first best move, one of the first best moves we made in boxing, as
Mm-hmm.
like getting ready to get on that world championship stage, because my wife's she has a marketing degree from Boston University, and me and Chris Bird and his wife at the time, Tracy Bird, we were all tight, and she was his manager. And it's like, she kept telling us, like, they were schooling us, and it's like, hey, the best person to be your manager is someone who has your best interests at hand. And it's like, who but your wife? And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. My manager at the time, who was Richie Giacchetti, most I rest his soul, he was he's been in the business since Larry Holmes, and before that, he's really close with Don. So he had his things going, and he wanted this percentage, but we weren't getting this output from him. We felt, and
Right.
something happened. We went to Poland. there wasn't when in my first title fight, uh, we're fighting the number three IBF, which is this Polish kid, and I was number one.
Yeah.
And they, of course, won the purse bid. So we're fighting in Poland. There wasn't supposed to be a Polish judge. Uh, there wasn't supposed to be. There was supposed to be a certain German judge. So when we got there, the Polish judge, there was now a Polish judge, and the German judge got switched for the Polish guy, the Polish promoter's homeboy from Germany. You know, so then the referee was switched. No, not the referee. The referee wasn't switched. The referee was American, but I didn't know the guy. You know, which was, hey, it don't matter. My gloves got switched. I was sponsored by Grant at the time. I'm number one.
Yes.
So, you know, I bring my gloves and they don't even let me use my gloves. They're telling me I have to use this guy's Everlast gloves. Now at the time I didn't like Everlast gloves because of the way they didn't fit on the wrist. I like Grant because they fit snug on the wrist.
Yes.
I just like comfort. And they threw them joints out. And I'm looking at my manager like, Richie, what's up? You'll be the manager, do this, get everything in order. And we got nothing. Everything they changed, we had to do, So I'm in the fighting in these gloves. I never trained and I never wore before. I knew they were out to get me. And I boxed this kid, boxing him decently. The American judge had me winning 11 rounds to 1. The German and Polish judge, of course, had me losing 8 rounds here and 6 rounds there. 7 rounds there. And he won the belt, gave me my first O. And from there, we were mad at my manager, because I'm like, Cruz. We were mad at my manager, and I'm like, he didn't do his job. But he was right there at the end, after the fight, like this. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
always.
Okay. So we gave him his money, and we just didn't like how the money spread went either.
Yeah.
So his percentage was too high. And that was, that's the learning experience. So from there, we got the immediate rematch because they cheated. They didn't give us the drug test. So that's an immediate rematch in the IBF, the post-fight drug test. And we filed for that, got it. And Don King, we were negotiating the money, and my manager was on the phone. I told him, hey, listen, you're fired, man. Like, I'm not using you no more.
Yeah.
And that was it. So I told my wife was hired, and my wife was on, and that literally saved us like so much more money. Like we left Poland that first time with a little bit of money because we had to split the pot with my trainer, who was my manager and trainer. Yeah. Don King, because he lost the purse bid. So when your promoter loses the purse bid, he gets a percentage. So we learned about negotiating that percentage lower during this situation. And then we looked at it, everybody got the same amount of money. And I'm like, I'm the one who fought, I'm the one who got robbed. Actually, I got a little less than Don King. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm the one who fought, I'm the one who got robbed, and I'm the one who taking the damage. But I'm leaving here with almost level as everybody else. I was like, no, I just got to change. So when the next time we went over there and fought, we left with like almost 2.5 times more. Wow. Because my wife was my manager, and that was it, man. And she knew what she was doing. She learned. She was already in boxing for a while, listening, paying attention. She's very smart, picking up everything, learning from our lawyer, learning from Brother Nazim. Yeah. Learning from just learning. Learning from people, and she managed me to another world title and the heavyweight USBA title, and. Shoot, I should have fought Vladimir. I should have been number 1 heavyweight contender, but the robberies, but it's all good.
Yeah, my wife, she managed me too, man. And listen, that's the best manager you can have.
It's the best.
Is your wife. Especially if they know the game too.
Right.
Yeah. How your son, how your son panning out? I know your son, he can fight real good. What does the future look like for him? In your eyes.
Which one?
your oldest son. Well, both of them, but your oldest son, because he's closer to going pro than your other son.
Yeah, he just hit 18, so he's, we're giving him 2 more years. Look at him, and possibly turn pro by the time he's 20 or around 20, right before he hits 21. Just looking at probably even a little sooner, because right now the opportunities is crazy on a low because the tournaments hasn't gone down because of COVID.
Yeah.
So we'll see what he looks like this year, next year, and then really next year is when we're looking at him like, all right, is he close to possibly being on the team,
Yeah.
or should we just take him out? What's his attention? What are the attention? What are the looks we're getting for him? And we'll go from there. But no,
Yeah.
he's doing great. His skill level is off the hook. His mind, his legs.
Mm-hmm.
He grew up. All my kids grew up in the gym.
Yeah.
All of them grew up in the gym, grew up boxing, grew up watching me box.
Yeah.
And really, in the beginning, I was like, nah, I didn't want him to box.
Yeah.
But I saw him working out at one point, and he didn't look great at all. But he was just working out, and I was just like, let's let him try it. To what he is, man. He grew into a really smart, speedy, quick southpaw, man. I love it. So now I have my 10-year-old, and he's coming right behind him. He's number 1 in the country. My 18-year-old is number 4 right now in the country.
Yeah.
And my 10-year-old is number 1 in the country. So he just turned 10, so he's going to start fighting these bigger kids.
Mm-hmm.
And we try to keep this ranking, or just keep him up there ranked, top 5, top 2, top 3, and just get these fights. That's the main thing. Get the fights, get the experience, and just keep going.
Yeah, but they're not fighting right now because it's COVID. I mean, what do you do?
Right.
Just keep them in the gym and just keep them learning in the gym?
Yeah, so we keep them in the gym, just keep them in shape, keeping them sparring. We're trying to get to another gyms to spar.
Yeah.
We did it a few times last year.
Yeah.
We're going to do it more this year, hopefully this COVID. I mean, I'm in Pennsylvania, so they're really tripping here in Pennsylvania, but in other states, they're not, they're not.
Okay.
So once we just we'll go back to Philly for some sparring. True, we'll go to DC, we'll go to Ohio.
Yeah.
We'll go to West Virginia. We'll go wherever. We'll take the trips.
We open 24/7. Where I train at Gold's Gym, open 24/7.
Okay.
24/7. Let me know when y'all want to get that work. For sure.
All right. Well, you guys got little kids up there?
Yeah, we got little kids up here, yeah.
All right. Shoot. We make that trip, man.
Yeah. Let me know. Did you see the Ryan Garcia Luke Campbell fight?
Oh, did I, man? It was beautiful, man. It was a good rumble.
It was.
Good rumble.
It was. What do you think? What do you think Ryan Garcia can do with Gervonta Davis?
I think Ryan Garcia is spectacular, man. I think he's spectacular. Okay. I don't think he's mature enough. It's not that he's mature enough. I don't think he's ready for a tank.
Okay.
But what I would say is, I don't think he shouldn't go for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
Because this is boxing, and you see, like for me, him fighting Luke Campbell, that was the test for him. That was the test. That was a step-up test.
Yeah.
We see Luke got that clean knockdown on him. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ryan Garcia responded beautifully, and he did what he did. He shut him down with a body shot.
Yes.
Body shot. That's spectacular. So that showed growth under fire right there, right before our eyes. Within those rounds, we saw Ryan Garcia grow a bit more.
Absolutely.
Or even give us more of him. And I'm not against him fighting Tank. Hey, if they make that fight next, let's have it. But I think, me personally, I don't think he's mature enough for a Tank fight yet.
Okay.
But I do think he could rise to the occasion. I don't think he gets wiped out.
Yeah.
I think he rises to the occasion and does much better than we think, but I think he still loses though.
Okay. Styles make fights. I mean, he got a good left hook.
Yeah, true.
And southpaws are susceptible to overhand rights, straight right hands, and left hooks.
You're right.
Yeah, I think that's a dangerous fight for Gervonta Davis. I think that's the reason why that Ryan Garcia keep calling him out, because he feel like he can land that hook.
Yeah, but it's a dangerous fight for both of them. But
yeah, absolutely.
I think Tank Davis is more durable.
Yeah.
I think he's more
exactly. Durable. Yeah. No, you right. You your hand, is your hand swollen, man? You done hit the bag without your hand?
Man. Yeah, you see that? I hit
I see it.
I hit the wall trying to hit something, man, and this thing got swollen yesterday, man. It's going down though.
Yeah, I saw it. You see, I got a good eye though. You see, I noticed it though, right?
Yeah, you saw it. I was like this.
Yeah. Man, you're gonna get a phone call now.
Nah, this joint going, man. It's down. It ain't sore. It's just a little liquid in there, but it'll be all right by Monday.
Oh man, yeah, I noticed it. Speaking of hands,
Yeah.
tell me about that the hand going into the glove, Tyson Fury glove.
Hey man, hey, you saw it, I saw it. It don't look right. Um, I wasn't there. I can't say what it was, but
Yeah,
I'm looking at the pictures. I'm looking at the video. I can say what it looks like. All right, it looks like his hands not fully in the glove. I'll keep it 100% real,
yeah,
and it looks like he's slipping that glove on and off. I mean, I saw the footage of Ricky Hatton. I saw the footage from Ricky Hatton um, when he went to touch the glove and that thing came down just easily. So I don't. There's a lot of things that's unexplained, but until he's caught, until somebody confesses, until it happens again and he gets caught red-handed, hey, it is what it is. You know what? Just watch him a little closer. If he's doing nothing wrong, nothing illegal, then hey, congratulations, good fights. But if he is, I hope he gets caught. Because that's not right, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, do you think though that his team should have did a better job and the commission should have did a better job if it was wrong that they should have caught that?
People fail to realize like things. They're not watching your gloves all the time. They're not watching your gloves, and this is a taboo trick. This isn't a common thing that happens in boxing. So who's looking for that? Who's looking for that? So those guys that watch us, they just watch us, make sure we ain't drinking nothing, putting nothing on. They watch you put the gloves on, but those gloves look like they weren't taped properly, properly down, tight enough. But I don't blame the commit. Well, I mean, I don't blame the commission because, like I said, it's a new infraction or it's a new situation to think about. So now, when he fights or anybody else fights, they need to grab them gloves at all times in between rounds. Make sure them things is tight on there, not that they're sliding down like they were when Ricky Hatton touched it. But I mean, hey, hopefully things get changed. Um, his next fight because of this.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, you got a few people that want to ask you some questions. So this young man says Steve found memories. Hold on, I'm gonna let you go ahead and see what it says. Steve found memories of the late great.
Brother Nuts.
Yeah, you see it.
Yeah, Steve, fond memories of the late, great brother Nazim. We rarely saw him laugh or smile in public. You got to have a funny moment to share with us. Sheesh, man. Too many funny moments. You got, like, y'all fella, you don't know that Nazim, like our training camps, that's the main thing I liked about boxing, was training camps with the Concrete Jungle, training camps with brother Nazim. He was the funniest dude ever. Like, like we joked so much in camp. It's unbelievable that I mean, and I know why you guys never see him smile because Nazim is all business. Nazim is all business. When it's fight time, it's fight time. He didn't want me running by myself when we went to the he didn't want me running by myself, period. His whole thing was business. Yo, watch the champ. Yeah, we Cunningham, somebody go with him. You running tonight, you running in the morning, somebody going with you. We don't want you out there by yourself, this and that. Somebody stay with him. He going to the bathroom, go with him. But man, behind the scenes, man, this dude is so funny. I mean, we just got too many funny. I don't even know which one to pick. Like there's so many funny stories. All right, here's a funny story. I'll put him out there a little bit. So Nazim goes to the gas station, and his son's in the store. They pull up to the gas station. His son's in the store, and this guy is kind of talking wild. No, Nazim's in the store. This guy's kind of talking fly to Nazim like he's going to do something to him, and Nazim's like, man, you need to get out my face, man. You get like pop. He just turned the punch over like a 6-inch punch from this to that,
Wow.
and yeah, man, and then just rolled out, stupid stuff like that, man. Jokes we kick in the gym.
Mhm.
We would go to the movies together off, outside of camp. His favorite thing was the superhero movies. He was a big comic book fan. We always had a debate of Superman being the best, how they dumbed Superman down, because really if Superman was was dialed into his real potential, game was over. You know, there was no bad guys. You know, Superman just do it. So of course, you know, that's who Brother Nazim was, man, outside of boxing.
Yeah. So we
Who
got
who
someone
was the
else.
toughest challenge
Yeah.
for Steve, Adamic or Hernandez? Ooh, interesting. Hernandez by far. Hernandez was tougher because he's a southpaw. He's a Cuban southpaw. Cuban southpaws are crafty. You're not going to just run up on a Cuban southpaw. So I had to turn. I told, you know, I was you know, into boxing more, aggressive boxer. So that first fight, I fought Hernandez. You know, you guys saw it. He knocked me down with a great shot in the first round. I weathered the storm, and I just came on. You know, boom, 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 as the rounds went by, and you know, him being promoted. Actually, this is a story for that. So I took the fight with Hernandez, the first fight with Hernandez, because you know I just fought my mandatory, and I wanted the unification with Marco Huck. And the German promoters, which we didn't know at the time, they didn't really want to do the Marco Huck rematch because he's a star, and they knew I would beat him again. So, but that's the reason we signed with him. We wanted that Huck fight because it was big money, and Hernandez was just there, you know, and it's like, hey, fight Hernandez. So I felt I was the best cruiserweight in the world. So I'm like, I can beat anybody. So I'm like, all right, we'll do Hernandez. Went through training camp. We get to Germany 10 days before the fight. The press conference about 4 days before, 3 days before the fight, 2 days before the fight. I find out that in Germany, the promoter can also be the manager of the fighter that he promotes. That's illegal in America, you know. And if you look at it, I'm like, whoa. So Hernandez defected from Cuba about 7 years before that. So he had already learned Deutsch, the language, which they love when you speak their language. He had already had a television deal. He's got a television deal over there. So it hit me then, like, damn. I'm like, I wouldn't have took this fight if I'd have known that. I wouldn't have took this fight because it's in the best interest of the promoter for his guy that he manages to win the world title. You know, here it is. I just been over there for a year. You know, I beat Troy Ross and I beat my mandatory Enad Lucina, and now I'm fighting Hernandez, and I'm like, I didn't speak the language, and I tried. I did my best to speak Deutsch at that press conference, and they loved it. So I was trying to market myself, you know, to the people, to the German people. But Hernandez was over there speaking it fluently. He had the television deal, and in that sixth round, I was, you know, I was getting with him, and I was walking back to the corner, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna stop him next round because he was weak. Yeah. And as soon as I sat down, Brother Nazim was like, Steve, you're gonna stop him next round. I was like, okay, we're on the same page. And they waived the fight. The doctor waived the fight from a cut that wasn't bleeding. Wow. Saying the blood could have gotten into his eye. And that was a German doctor, very close friends with Hernandez's trainer, who was a huge star in Germany over there. And so we got the rematch because the fight was unjustly stopped by the IBF. The IBF ruled, because we protested it, and the IBF ruled, hey, that was unjustly stopped. You know, Cunningham, that fight should not have been stopped with Cunningham versus Hernandez. But but Hernandez stays champion. And I'm like, what? And from there, I was mad, man. I was angry. I was pissed off. And I don't fight good pissed off, you know? Yeah. So I went over there and I fought Hernandez that second fight pissed. We ended up getting IBF fight of the year for that second fight. But he beat me. He beat me that fight. It was a good one, but he beat me. And so I say out of Adamic and Hernandez, it was Hernandez because he was a little more tricky. Adamic was easy to hit. If you can withstand his power, then you can outbox him. Eddie Chambers did it, and I did it that second fight. You know, that our first fight, there were 3 knockdowns. That cost me the fight, and even one judge still had me winning that first fight with getting knocked down 3 times. So Adamic could not slip a right hand. You close your eyes and throw the right hand, it'll land on Adamic's chin somewhere. You know, that was his defense, his chin. So it was Hernandez, man. Sorry I took so long to answer that.
No. Hey, take your time. So I know what USS stands for and where it came from.
Right.
So, you know, tell the fans or the people that don't know, you know, where you were at, you know, how long did you serve?
So USS comes from, you know, It's like me paying homage to my Navy years. You know, I served 4 years in the United States Navy. That's where I learned to box on the United States Navy boxing team. And my last year, I was I was getting paid to box. I was in the Navy getting paid to box on the boxing team. Got the silver medal in the Armed Forces tournament. I won the national Golden Gloves in 1998 from being in the Navy, off the Navy boxing team, and then decided to turn pro. Decided not to turn pro. I'm sorry. Decided to get out the Navy in '98 and pursue this dream of becoming a world champion, and we did it twice.
That's right. Absolutely, absolutely.
Two
You
champs.
know, yeah, that you see here, Chris. Chris say, hey, two champs, my people. That's
Yeah,
like, yeah, that's a little Big Red. Big Red. He be, Chris, don't you?
I'm sure I do by face probably.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He a great little fighter, man. Hey, listen, he good, man. Christian, good guy.
That's what's up.
Him and his dad do a good job with him.
All right, that's great.
Yeah. So, what's your shortest notice fight, Mister Boxing Today
My
too right
shortest
now?
notice fight,
Hmm.
I never, I got called one time to fight Wayne Braithwaite. This is before I fought him. This is when he was world champion. Um, I got called one time to fight Wayne Braithwaite, and they called us and was like, "Yo, you want to fight Wayne?" And I jumped on it. I was like, we called him right back and was like, "Hey, how much?" This and that. And it was like, it was literally like 3 weeks notice. It was like about 3 weeks notice, and we accepted it like that. And they were like, "Whoa," you know what I mean? Like, "Whoa, what's up with that?" Because we accepted it like that because I was in training camp. Like I did a couple times. I would go to Ohio and train with my trainer, like off season, and just stay at his house, train, and be in shape. So when we got the call, I was in camp. I was at my trainer's house because I trained at Richie Giacchetti's. He had a farm, so I trained there. I was already in shape, man. I was always in shape. So all we needed to do for those 3 weeks was to spar, and we felt we was gonna get in there and take that WBC belt. And once we called back within like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and we accepted it. And I know they were like, "Whoa." And we got the call back, like, "Nah," they said they're gonna pass. I was like, "Damn."
I figured that. That's right.
But listen, Wayne Braithwaite wasn't no clown. He
Yeah.
wasn't no nut. He was the man back then. You guys remember, he was knocking everybody out. That was before he fought Guillermo Jones, who I beat before.
Yeah.
He fought Wayne. That's when he was fighting Luis Azil, the Lion, and I think he ended up fighting Pineda, Luis
Yeah.
Pineda, or something like that. But I accepted that fight, man, and was ready to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, you a two-time world champ, man. Listen, you had the same belt that I had too, the IBF, right?
IBF, yeah,
Wow. That's lovely. Favorite belt, my
yeah.
favorite belt. Yeah. Thanks, Roger too, man. Look forward to seeing you in the gym. That's Roger. I'll be training Roger too. I
All right,
train him
Roger.
and
All
his
right,
daughter.
Roger.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, so who was your top 10 pound for pound best fighters in the world?
Man, my top 10. You know,
At least your top
I
four. At
my
least your
top
top
four,
four. Yeah.
of course, Terrence Crawford.
That's number one?
Uh, Dang, I mean, him and
uh,
Errol Spence, man, are at top right now. I mean, yeah, I give Terrence Crawford number one over Errol Spence for longevity. Errol Spence is the man, though. Don't get it twisted. Um, I'm not. This is no order, but Terrence Crawford is my number one. Then Earl Spence is up there. We have I'll put Tyson Fury up there. People don't put heavyweights on these pound for pound lists, man. Like I'll put Fury up there because Fury beat Vladimir and he beat Wilder. You know,
yeah.
I put Fury up there, man. Like no
Yes.
bullshit. Like keep
Yeah.
it real.
Yeah.
Um, Teofimo Lopez, because look who he dethroned.
Yes.
You know, look at who he
Hmm.
dethroned, and of course, you know what? I'm not even messing with Canelo. I am not putting Canelo on my pound for pound list at all. Why? Because
Why?
he failed a freaking drug test. I'm gonna
Okay.
keep it 100% real.
Okay.
If you fail a drug test,
I can understand
I
that.
don't give a damn what your excuse is. That's bull. We all know that Mexican meat crap is bull.
Yeah.
If you fail a drug test,
Yeah.
there's no way you should be allowed on any pound for pound list ever. Or you know what I mean? There's no way unless you have so many years of being clean. You know, I'll
Yeah.
say that. I won't say ever. You know, let him work his way back in there. But no, I can't give no. Even though Canelo's bad, yo, I love watching him. You know, but really, if you were on the juice, and you probably still are, come on, man. I can't do that. I can't put
Yeah.
him on there. I
Yeah.
can't.
You got me kind of second guessing if I want to put him on my pound for pound now. I'm like, you're making me think. That's why it's
I
good
mean,
to
keep it
actually.
real,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
You know, look at the Margarito situation.
Yeah.
You know, this dude got caught twice.
Yeah.
He got caught twice. Oh no, I'm sorry, he didn't get caught twice.
I was
Brother
gonna say.
Nazim caught two different fighters.
Okay.
But
Okay. I'm like,
he
that
was
got
one
caught
of them.
twice. He should be
So
banned. Right.
right. But Margarito, but we see when he wasn't allowed to use those wraps,
Yeah.
those specific type of wraps,
Yeah.
he fell off. You know,
He
he
sure
wasn't doing the
did.
same
He
damage.
sure
So
did.
he been doing that for the
Yeah.
longest. You know, and
Absolutely.
people talk about, oh, Margarito was there. I'm like, we can't say that. And
Yeah.
even Tito Trinidad, I'm keeping it really real.
Yeah.
Brother Nazim busted him with some messed up raps, with cast in his rap.
Oh, who?
Come on, and that left hook didn't do what it was normally
Who?
doing to people.
Who?
It
Who
didn't
you
do
say
what
again?
it did. It didn't do that to Bernard.
Who? Oh, Tito.
Trinidad.
Oh,
Tito.
listen.
Yep.
I got the lowdown on Trinidad. I'm glad you brought him up because people swear up and down. Oh man, no, not Trinidad. I know Obakar daddy
Man.
told me that when Obakar fought Trinidad, that he
Right.
went into the other dressing room and he's wrapping his hands. His trainer was wrapping his hands. I don't know if it was his daddy, but whoever his trainer was at the time, and he was like, oh man, no. He went and told Don King, and Don King told him to be quiet.
Damn.
Plasters against his son. Yeah.
Yep.
That's
So
probably
that's what it is, man.
yeah.
And I talked to William Jaffe probably about 3 months after they fought.
Mhm.
And he was like, man, he's like, Steve, that's the hardest I ever been hit in my life. Ever. You know, it's
Yeah,
like, but then
exactly.
Nazim catches him with that cast on, and it's like everybody, all the fighters is like, yeah, this dude's been doing that for years. He's been doing that from day one, you know.
Absolutely. There
Look
you
at these
go.
guys. A lot of these guys are failing these tests. They're getting caught now
Yeah.
because fighters are calling for these different ways to detect the test. That VADA testing is very dope, and you know, you have to question all of their success because you just did it this fight. Like, come on, man. You know, come on. Like even with my fight with Tarver,
Yeah.
you know, I've since forgiven Tarver. You know, like, hey, bro, it's all good. And I told his son, he blocked me on this. He blocked me, so I couldn't get a direct message to him. But I sent the message to his son, like, yo, tell your dad any hard feelings I had, they're done. You know, it is what it is. You know,
Yeah.
it's over. It's been over for what, 3-4 years.
Yeah.
But no, shoot, that's 5 years. You know, that's 2016.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, whatever. You know, that's water under the bridge. But keep it real. This dude fell. He was suspended already for a year from failing the test. And then a fight after he fought Jonathan Banks. He KO'd Jonathan Banks as a heavyweight, and then he fights me, and he fails the test after my fight. So it was like, whoa, bro, like, come on, you're a habitual user. You know, this is what you do. I had to question all his fights. You know, no disrespect to him, or you know, I had to question all his fights. So. Anybody that has failed, man, you can't get on my pound for pound list. Anybody that has failed, you have to have time off. You have to have time, years where you have been consecutively tested or fought and passed the test. Then I put you on my pound for pound.
Okay. Now what about number 4? One other person. Who's number 4?
Number four. Oh man. Number four. Who's on the list? Who's out there?
Let me think somebody didn't.
I don't want to pick somebody.
That's a good question.
Right.
Yeah,
I
that's a good question.
I just saw somebody pound for pound list.
Hey, what about you know, I know she a woman, but what about Clarissa Shields? I mean, it ain't her fault she couldn't fight nobody.
No, she'll go there. Good one.
Okay.
Good one. She has to go there.
Yeah.
She has to go there. Like, you're right. It ain't her fault. It like it wasn't Roy Jones's fault when he was light heavyweight.
Yeah.
It wasn't his fault. The competition wasn't on his level.
Yeah.
It wasn't his fault. You know what I mean? So Clarissa has to go on there, man. She has to.
Yeah.
They have to stop doing that, man. The female boxing has to get its props, man. You got Cecilia Brackers. She just lost the title. I think she's rematching that young
Yeah.
lady that took her belts, but she's been holding it down for so long,
Absolutely.
forever. And she
Yeah.
rarely got any credit because she was in Europe.
Yeah.
She was bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
Cecilia. I mean, you have Clarissa Shields now murdering him. Come on, man.
Exactly.
And she's doing
Exactly.
this MMA thing because it ain't nobody in boxing for it, really.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. There
Uh,
you go. There you go.
Chasing
Absolutely.
fame,
Yeah.
also chasing the check and fame. You can't blame her.
Yeah. Yeah. What would have been Steve's game plan if you'd have fought, Dwight Muhammad
Oh,
Qual?
Dwight Conway, prime versus prime. Oh man. Oh, no doubt the jab. Overwhelm him with the jab. Like really the jab. The jab is my favorite punch of all time. Overwhelming with the jab and short burst combination. Bop, 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 boom, 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 and just keep moving. Keep moving. Do not sit still with that guy. Because you sit still when he come with that, yeah, yeah. So it's kind of like fighting Mansoor,
Show
to an
me, buddy.
extent.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Hey, so look, Roger want to know. Yeah, right. He said, "How do you feel about Floyd and Adrien Broner?"
Floyd or Adrien Broner. I
Yeah.
mean, you know what? Floyd's a great. Floyd is. He is. I agree with him when he says he's the best boxer of all time. I agree with him. I
Uh-huh.
completely agree with him. He's the
Okay.
best boxer of all time over Muhammad Ali. Yeah, because Muhammad Ali has losses.
Uh-huh.
He's not a better person than Muhammad Ali.
Right.
He's not a better humanitarian, I would say,
Yeah.
outside of the ring or whatever, than Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali was special. That's what made him special. That's what made people look at him like, "Oh, this dude
Yeah.
is great." They weren't saying Muhammad Ali was just the greatest boxer. They were saying Muhammad Ali is just a great dude. One
Yeah.
of the greatest dudes they ever met. He talking
Yeah.
people down off a suicidal, about to kill themselves, jumping off buildings.
Yeah.
The
All right.
stand he took, the stand he took for his people, for Vietnam. Not going. He went to jail instead of. Listen, man, Muhammad Ali was special, special. Floyd
Yeah.
Mayweather, no doubt, the best fighter of all time. Adrien Broner. I enjoy watching Adrien fight. I really like watching him fight. That kid is great. I mean, I don't see great. He's a dope fighter. Um, I don't follow him on social media. I don't, I don't want to see anything about Adrien Broner outside of boxing in the ring. Outside of training. Because that's not my lifestyle. That's not the lifestyle I live. That's not the lifestyle I want my sons to live. I see he's kind of said he's changed and everything. We'll see. But I enjoy watching him fight. He's bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bad
Hey,
dude.
look. So tell me this right here, because you from Philly, and I'm quite sure you gonna
Yeah.
say this is the Philly shell. But Floyd, Floyd Mayweather
Heard him.
Senior, he said he got that Floyd style, that what people call the Philly shell, from a guy that trained him in Detroit. So I mean, what would you call that style? Would you call it the Philly shell, or would you just say it's just a good defensive move?
I mean, I heard Floyd Mayweather say in an interview, it ain't the Philly shell no more. It's the Floyd Mayweather shell.
Exactly. Yeah.
And because he perfected it, because he mastered it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can't argue that. How can you argue that?
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, because it's still going to be called the Philly shell
Yeah.
regardless. And
Uh-huh.
now it can be also called the Floyd Mayweather show, whatever you want to call it, because
Right.
he has mastered it. I mean, shit, he has mastered it, and they teach their fighters how to do it. If they stick with it and do it right. But no one has done it like Floyd. Floyd
Absolutely not.
has mastered that. So I
Yeah.
say he has a good argument at renaming it. He does.
Yeah. Yeah. Now tell me this. Now hold on. You said that Floyd Mayweather was the best ever. I mean, you
Right.
think he was better than Sugar Ray Leonard?
I mean, look at like listen. We all saw that video where Floyd was like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to charge one thing. We all saw that video where Floyd Mayweather was like naming all his accomplishments.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Ain't nobody did what he did.
Yeah.
Money at the gate. Look at that hand. Money at the gate.
Yeah.
Uh, he's beat everybody. He's made the most money out of every
Yeah.
fighter ever.
Uh-huh.
Belts, divisions. You know what I mean? Weight classes. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Floyd, you can't argue that crap. You
Yeah.
can't argue that at all. There's
I don't
no
want to.
fighter you can put up, man, that
Yeah.
that has done everything Floyd's done.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
tops them all in some area.
Yeah. I don't want to make it seem like I'm a Floyd hater or anything. So
No. I'm a Sugar Ray lover. Yo, I love
yeah,
Sugar Ray. That's
yeah.
my dude, man. I mean, I commentated with him
Okay.
a couple times, and
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, this is Sugar Ray freaking Leonard. I'm sitting
Yeah.
next to calling
Yeah.
fights with. Like, yo, I grew up watching him.
Okay.
Trying to emulate him outside and slap boxes and stuff. So, man, Sugar Ray's the dude, but I mean, his career being better than Floyd's, nah.
Yeah. But it could be times though. Think about it. Hey, Floyd has never fought no one nowhere can compete or compare to Tommy Hearns or Roberto Duran. I mean, you got to remember it was some real killers back then. I'm talking about.
No, yeah, it was killers. But I mean, is it his fault that the killer that the people he fought that he diminished the killers? Because Corrales was a killer. Let's get it real.
Oh, he definitely was. Yeah, I thought he definitely was.
Diminished them to mere just boxers, and that's the same thing with Roy. Roy did the same thing. So it's not Floyd's fault. Floyd did his job. He did it well. I can't argue that. But let me move away. No. This thing is not charging.
No, yeah. No.
But yeah, you can't argue. Move, bro. Sorry. I'm trying to get my setup.
Yeah.
Charging over there for some reason.
You remind me what my wife told me. You're only good at boxing. Look, you can't set it up.
Nah, I'm finding out.
No,
I'm finding this out, man.
Hey,
damn, something up with my charger now.
They don't understand or realize that to be a boxer and to become a world champion, you have to be intelligent. Very intelligent.
Right. Yeah, they fail to realize, man, boxing is a sport of the brain. They don't get it. It's more than boxing than just hitting somebody, bro.
Exactly. You got to have good common sense. Absolutely.
It's way more than boxing than just hitting, than just punching, bro. You got to think, split second thinking. Yo, what's up? It's like not even.
Yeah.
Is it this thing? Yeah, no, it might have been that one too.
Yeah. You get definitely. I know. So
Roger. Out on y'all.
Huh?
My iPad ain't charging. I don't know what's going on.
Man. So Roger said ever since Floyd took control of his career, he never took a hard fight again.
I mean, that's part of the business, That's the business. Boxing is a business before it's a gladiator thing nowadays, and many people starting to realize that, it's business. I mean, I didn't have control of my career. It was just me and my wife. We were building and grinding. I mean, and that built Steve USS Cunningham. That made me the warrior I am, because I had to go in the Lions Den. I had to fight Furies. I had to fight Atomics, even though the stage was against me.
Yeah.
If I was Floyd and I had a chance to pick and make myself a bit more comfortable, I'd do it. Yeah, I'd did it. So I mean, it's business. It's really business. Exactly. It's not. I can't fault Floyd for putting himself in a position to do that. I mean, every fighter wants to. That's where we want to go. That's where, like, when my son turns pro, I want him to build to that spot.
Exactly.
Not fight nice fights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fight nice fights, but you want to give your guy a winning chance. Hey, what about this guy? Well, shoot, this dude is a killer.
Yeah.
Unless we have to, or unless the demand is on the table so much.
Yeah.
But Floyd even took himself out of that category because the demand for Pacquiao was there.
Yeah.
Floyd showed you, like, man, listen, I'm gonna do it when I want, and you're still gonna buy it. And that happened, bro.
Yeah, I believe that. Well, I feel like Floyd should allow other people, like, for instance, you said that he was the best ever, versus him saying it himself. Muhammad Ali, he said, I am the greatest, and it was okay with him because he talked a lot. But from Floyd said it was like, he's the best ever, and it's like, he fought a lot of guys. Now, you got to admit, a lot of guys were past their prime that he fought. He won a lot of them belts, but, Cotto wasn't the same Cotto. He fought against Cotto, who got beat up by a guy who wore plasters. Shane Mosley, which that's your man in him, had the same trainer.
That Shane fight was good, though. That was a good fight for both of them, because Shane did what he did. Shane rocked the mess out of him, though.
Man.
And Shane, and we can say Shane was past his prime, but styles make fights.
Absolutely. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
the boxing business tries to label us
Yeah,
older fighters as, oh, you old, you can't do this, you
exactly.
can't do that. And
Yeah,
look at what Shane went in there and did to the best fighter of that era of our eras.
yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
yo, shoot. Well, that was very freaking entertaining. He almost
Yeah,
got him though.
yeah. He almost, hey, man, he almost
Almost.
got him.
So
Zab too.
I
Zab
try to
almost got him.
I try to be optimistic now, man.
Yeah, yeah. I think you know what I think. Well, I tell you this is what I think for us him, and we all got our you agree to agree to disagree if I feel like he's the greatest
Yeah.
or the next
Oh yeah.
person. You know what I mean? But one thing I do agree is that when he has the will to win like more than any other fighter ever. I mean,
Oh yeah.
he's not letting that O go for nothing because that's gonna mess with his money.
Right.
He ain't letting you mess that
Right.
money
Right.
up.
Well, and that's not even just the money, the legacy, man. He's
That
leaving a
legacy,
legacy.
absolutely. Yep.
I
Yep.
would love to
Absolutely.
see. I would love to see, like Floyd, one of Floyd's kids, like his son. If he has a son, I don't know his kids or anything, but I would love to, because that's how the legacy keep going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Teach his kid that Philly Floyd shell and bring him into boxing. I have guys like Langford, Ray Robinson, Ali, Lou Duran, Hagler, just to name a few ahead of Floyd on my all-time great list. I mean, if we're doing all-time greats, we have to go by accomplishments. We have to go by accomplishments. World title. How many world champions did any of them fight? Did they fight anywhere near as many as Floyd did? How many belts? How many divisions? And then the money. All of that. The gate. We got to look at all of that. Like Floyd said in that interview. I saw that interview. Before that interview, I had other thoughts, but then I'm like, damn, you're right. What are we basing this on? What are we basing? Well, Floyd ain't the best. What are we basing it on? We have to base it on the stats. And stats wise, he blows everybody out the water.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Yep. No, you know what? Hello. Oh, I think it's hey. I think that his battery must have went dead. I think his battery went dead, y'all. Yeah, but we definitely appreciate the champ tapping in. So man, y'all have a great night, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for tuning in and tapping in with the champ. Like, share the video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and we'll catch y'all at K9 Boxing in a day or two. Appreciate y'all, man. One love. We out.